Have you ever known with total clarity exactly what you were supposed to be doing, actually wanted the result, and had the time sitting there right in front of you and still didn't do it? There is a formula that predicts that exact moment. 4 variables, 1 line of chalk. I'll be honest up front, it's not real physics, and I'll show you where it bends. But as a map of why you're stuck, it is uncomfortably accurate. A lot of you saw the 60-second version and asked for the whole machine. So here it is. Welcome back to Penguin Academy. Here's the formula. Psychologist Piers Steel spent years pulling hundreds of studies together and boiled the whole mess into this. Motivation equals expectancy times value divided by impulsiveness times delay. 4 knobs. Expectancy. Do you think you'll actually pull it off? Value. How rewarding or how bearable the task is and its payoffs feel. Impulsiveness. How easily you get yanked off course. And delay. How far away the reward is. Turn the top 2 up and motivation climbs. Turn the bottom 2 up and it craters. Now for the honesty, because that's very important. This is not a law you can measure like gravity. It's a map. Steel built it on 2 well-tested ideas. That we chase rewards we expect to get, and that we steeply shrink rewards that are far away. Each of the 4 ingredients really does predict procrastination in research. What isn't proven is the exact arithmetic. The multiplying and dividing is Steel's way of showing you how the pieces pull on each other, not a number you'll ever plug into your calculator. So don't treat it as one, treat it as a dashboard. Good. Before the knobs, one thing that changes how you use this, it is a fraction, it's not a list. If it were addition, a big pile of value could just outweigh a long delay and you'd be fine. Division is crueler. One bad variable on the bottom drags the whole thing down no matter how good the rest is. That's why, but I really care about this, isn't it enough to save you? You can want the result enormously, huge value, and still not start, because the reward is 6 months out, and your phone is 9 inches away. High numerator, catastrophic denominator, motivation near 0. Which is oddly good news. You don't have to fix all 4. You just have to find the one that's tanking your fraction and fix that. Expectancy is your gut sense of, can I actually do this? When it's low, you don't even start. Why sprint at something you're sure you will fail? This is the quiet one. It doesn't feel like fear or failure. It feels like, later. But underneath, the brain has quietly decided the odds are bad and pulled its own funding. The fix isn't a pep talk. Confidence follows evidence, not the other way around. Expectancy traces back to self-efficacy, and the thing that builds self-efficacy is small wins you can actually see. So shrink the task until its success is basically guaranteed. Not write a chapter, but write 1 bad paragraph. Stack a couple of those and your brain updates the odds on its own. You're not lying to yourself that you'll succeed. You're rigging the task so you will. Value is how good or how tolerable the thing feels. And here's where this episode has to shake hands with the earlier one. The one where I said procrastination is really an emotion problem. Both are true, and this is exactly where they meet. Low value isn't only, this is boring. A task can feel bad, anxious, shameful, and confusing at the same time, and your brain files all of that under the same heading. Not worth approaching. Task aversiveness is low value. The feelings live inside this knob. So you raise value 2 ways. Make the doing more pleasant, the good coffee, the good playlist, the nice cafe, but only while you're doing the dreaded thing. Psychologists call that temptation bundling, and it's a real, if gentle, effect. Or, when the problem is a bad feeling rather than your boredom, deal with the feeling, name it, shrink the scary part, and forgive the last time you dodged it. You're not tricking yourself into loving the tax return, you're making it cost your nervous system a little less. Now the bottom of the fraction, where the real damage lives. Impulsiveness is how easily you get pulled off a task by whatever's brighter and closer. And in Steele's research, it's one of the strongest threads running through procrastination. If you're going to blame one knob, blame this one. Here's the catch, and I won't sugarcoat it. Impulsiveness is the most trait-like of the four. It's partly wiring. You will not meditate it down to 0 by Thursday. So stop trying to out-willpower it. You will lose. And attack the environment around it instead. Every distraction you remove is a fight you don't have to have. Phone in another room. Log out. Grayscale. Have only one tab open. Same move as with the dopamine episode. You don't beat the slot machine. You need to make it annoying to reach. Willpower is expensive and runs out. A closed door is free and works while you sleep. The last knob, and the one you commented about. This is probably the one you'll feel most. Delay. The further away the reward, the more your brain shrinks it. This is called temporal discounting, and it's brutal and automatic. A price in June is barely visible from today. So a tiny reward available right now, a video, a snack, or literally anything else beats it easily. Distant good thing versus nearby okay thing, and nearby almost wins every time. You can't move the real reward closer, but you can build fake nearer ones. Break the far off goal into chunks with their own finish lines, so there's always a payoff to reach within the week, not in the next quarter. Set your own deadlines, real ones with stakes. Because in one classic study, students who set their own earlier deadlines outperformed the ones who left everything to the end. And make the far consequence vivid now. The future you who has to file this in a panic is a real person, not a stranger. Shorten the physiological distance and the denominator loosens its grip. So here's the whole method, simpler than the equation makes it look. Don't fix your motivation, but diagnose it. The next time you're stuck, run the 4 knobs and find the one that's broken. Do I secretly think I'll fail? That's expectancy. Shrink the task till success is certain. Does this genuinely feel bad or boring? That's value. Bundle a reward in. Or deal with the feeling underneath. Do I keep getting yanked away? That's impulsiveness. Change the room, not your resolve. Is the payoff just too far, like someone mentioned in the comments? That's delay. Build nearer finish lines and real near-term stakes. It's usually one knob doing most of the damage. You don't need the whole overhaul the productivity gurus are selling. Find your weakest variable and pull that one lever. That's the entire trick. So now for your homework. Take the one task you've been dodging the longest and don't force it. Just try to diagnose it. Which one of the 4 knobs is your problem? Say it out loud. My problem is delay. Or my problem is I think I'll fail. Then pull that one lever, the smallest way you can, today. Tell me in the comments which knob was the culprit. I'm curious to see how many of you say impulsiveness and how many of you are brave enough to admit it's expectancy. I will read them all. So, for the takeaway, procrastination isn't a character flaw you fix by hating yourself harder. It's a fraction with 4 knobs, and at any given moment, usually one of them is sabotaging you. Find it and turn it and leave the other 3 alone. You're not lazy, you're running a task that's badly shaped for the brain you actually have, and those shapes can be changed. Thank you for watching. If you learned something, like and subscribe for new penguin psychology videos. And if the hype button is up, go on, give it a hype. This professor believes in you, statistically anyway.